We're gonna be safe and sound tonight.
Hello everyone, and today we're talking about cooperative capitalism, which is what capitalism was like when we were on the gold standard, when we were in the Gilded Age. So everyone with savings is a capitalist or a potential capitalist who can potentially invest into productive local enterprise, into beautiful creative projects, into beautifying and improving their general area, their general location. And the best way for coordinating such a process, such a free enterprise system, is through the stadium. And because the stadium has everyone on the same page, everyone can kind of gauge interest, and it's all centralized in one area. It's more specifically centralized on the microphone, on the speaker. So stadiums have a beautiful sound system. They have big jumbotrons. They are perfect for this. And it also really brings home the community aspect. A stadium does, because you can see your community. Everyone is gathered together in the same spot. And so everyone gets a real sense of teamwork, which is what capitalism really should be about. The word capital means savings, okay? Don't be triggered by the word capital. The word capital is savings. If you have a 401k, if you have a pension, if you have cryptocurrency, if you have gold, if you have anything, that's all capital, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. That's how we build productive enterprises. That's the only way you can build productive enterprises. So here's some math we did about collective capitalism. This is your stadium capacity. This is your average capital to invest per person. $5,000, not that much, very reasonable as an average. Still, you're talking about 50,000 people working together. This is the power of 50,000 people working together. $250 million to invest. Let's say it's 4 hours long because you don't want to really drag on or hurt people. Not hurt, but bore people, sorry. So this is 10 minutes per speech given, per project pitch. 24 pitches, you divide 250 by 24, $10 million per project. Now let's say, as an example, we want to build a mega playground, the best playground you've ever seen in your life. One mega playground for the city. Imagine what the playground you could build for $10 million. Imagine the playground you could build for $25 million. Ages ago on Alibaba, I looked up the price of a roller coaster because I was really curious. What does a roller coaster cost? I have no idea. Spoiler: a roller coaster cost $300,000. It was like $300,000 to $400,000. So you're talking about 20 roller coasters you could buy for the price of $10 million. Let's say with shipping, with assembly, this is all going to be a big additional cost. So let's say instead of 20 roller coasters, maybe 5 to 10. So you're still talking about one project financing 10 roller coasters. And you have 23 other projects still after this, during this presentation. And this is only $5,000. You can save up and do the same thing next year. And we're talking about working class people saving $5,000 per year. If you're like middle class or upper middle class, you can save more than $5,000 per year. So, really incredible math, really obvious math. None of this is difficult, but it's still very, very revealing. And I mean, just think about it. Everyone is so individualistic today, and an individual is only one person. Even with 10 people working together, it's 10 times easier to accomplish a goal, to accomplish a project, to get something off the ground. Now, that's only 10. Extrapolate that to 50,000. this is a total game changer of the entire makeup of society, the entire power structure. And I think one of my favorite aspects of this free enterprise system is that it is a free enterprise system. If you're not interested in a project, you don't finance that project. If you are sort of on the fence about a project, okay, only put in 1,000. If you're really interested in a project, put in 10,000. So that's how it really differs from taxation. So with taxation, your congressman is making those decisions. Your congressman is determining where the money is going and how much money is going to certain projects. In this system, you determine where, as an individual, as a sovereign individual, determine where your money is going and how much of your money is going to that project. And then, even better, it's considered investment, not taxation. With taxation, you never see that money come back ever again. With investment, you get all of your money back and a profit and a return on investment. So this is like a win-win-win scenario. There's all winning, all aspects of this concept of this collectivist capitalism, which is really what we used to have. I mean, one of the most beautiful and biggest projects of the time of the Gilded Age was the Continental Railroad, and that was all financed with private money. And really, the whole country kind of came together and realized the transformative effects that this single railroad would have by stretching this single line of metal across the nation, and what it would do for shipping goods, and what it would do for logistics, and what it would do for mail, and for passengers, and for freight, and all of this stuff. Like, it just opened up the whole country to the rest of it. It brought the whole country together, and that's why it was financed by so many people, and that's why so many people came together to make that a reality. And that is the kind of cooperative thinking that we need in this era, that we have so desperately lost. Everything is politics, everything is left versus right, everything is legislation, everything is congressman, everything is legislature, everything is law and force. And like, would we be throwing people in jail for smoking pot if we had a collectivist capitalist system? Would all of these individuals come together in a stadium as one and say, I want to throw my neighbor in jail. That's where I want my money to go, is throwing my neighbor in jail for getting high and relaxing in his own free time in his own home? No, of course not. That's disgusting. Those are policies like that, programs like that, projects like that are disgusting tools of tyrannical oppression. And capitalism is not really about that. Capitalism is about maximizing your lifestyle, maximizing the quality of life. And sometimes we do it like very poorly with suburbia, with car culture. I think that's a mistake. Obviously, I really want to get away from that in the future. But I mean, with my one example of a mega playground, like even for adults, this playground would be amazing for adults too, for families. It would just be like a work of art, and or an amusement park, or the escape rooms or something. Like, these are all just tiny examples. Another company could do like architectural accents. All they do is make architectural accents that you can use in your construction, in your home, all this stuff, beautifying your environment. And like, and then you have these intimate relationships with with these companies and communities that you're investing in, and it's all so beautiful all around, and it's what society should be instead of democracy, instead of infighting, and instead of hate. I mean, God, there's so much hate. And arcology and affordable housing is honestly one of probably the first and possibly largest projects that ideally will be funded in this way. The government's never going to do it because the government is not interested in change, period. The government is about maintaining the status quo, enriching themselves, enriching their friends. So, yeah, the stadium is the focal point of all of this, and they're completely unused right now. They're all empty every day. Go look for yourself, I promise you. They're an underutilized public asset, a massively underutilized public asset, because we don't have any creativity, we don't have any leadership, we don't have any long-term goals, we don't have any wisdom. We need to put the creative in society at the center of society. We need to center the creatives. We need to center the intelligent. We need to create a meritocracy, a experimental meritocracy, as soon as possible if we want to get ourselves out of this horrible, corrupt rut that we're in. This ditch that we are stuck in, that we are rotting in. We're rotting in a fucking ditch. Sorry for getting a little negative, but it's true. And this collectivist capitalist idea is really the way to go. So let's say we do this. What the hell? So let's say it's 15,000. Why are you doing this to me? $15,750,000, and we have 8 hours. That's 15,000. This would be a lot. You would do this like once a week, 2 hours, 2-hour days, and then 4 days a month. So every week, and then you could do maybe 30 minutes. That's annoying. So that's only 16 projects, 30 pitches. Or if you had still 4-hour days, 4 times a month, 30 minutes, that's 32 projects, 23 million per project at 15,000. Now this is I mean, working class people can save up $15,000, but it's going to take a while. If we see some unions, if we see the price of rent go down through arcology, then I would say working class people could save about $15,000 a year. This is right now, middle class people can probably save $15,000 a year. So this would be like once a year, you could probably accomplish 32 large projects as a rather small community, 50,000 people. I mean, let's say people really get into this. Let's say the community is really involved. You have 500,000 people. You're talking about $200 million per project. Do you know what you can do with $200 million? My God, like, that's insane. Now this would be like a medium-sized city really coming together. Like, it's unlikely to see this. But if you're talking about pension funds and stuff like this, you're talking about like the pension funds of police departments, the pension funds of all of these other large institutions. They already have this kind of money. They don't do shit with it. They really don't do anything with it. They put it into Amazon stock. They put it into Google stock and Facebook stock. And we wonder why Jeff Bezos is so rich, and we wonder why Mark Zuckerberg is so rich, is because the people managing our money are idiots. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're they're blind. It's the blind leading the blind. And what I offered in this video is the opposite of that. So let's make it happen. Share this around. Thank you, and have a nice If you want to see a new and better world come to fruition, as I do, then like, share, and subscribe. You can find an incredible amount of math, knowledge, and 3D renders by clicking on the channel name. And remember, we need you to help spread this vision across the internet for all to see and become familiar with. Let us build this new world together.